Hello and welcome to Manna at the Tap. I'm Gloria and I'm pleased you have joined us today, Friday, April the 5th, 2024, as we continue to explore Daniel's stories in chapter 2 of his book. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, it offers spiritual nourishment to feed your soul. Our source of food comes from the Bible's daily lectionary readings, which we call manna. These readings are packed with nutrients to help you on your spiritual journey. King Nebuchadnezzar was experiencing sleepless nights and his mind was troubled. It is difficult to say if he was frustrated with himself that he could not remember his dreams in the morning, or if they were vague and fragmented, leaving him unable to express them to his wise men who were hired to use their ability to contact the gods and gain secrets from the spirit realm. The king was not pleased with their answer, saying they needed to know the dream to tell him the interpretation. He was burning with anger and he wanted to punish them. Try as they might to convince him that what he was asking was impossible, that not even their gods could do what the king wanted, because their gods do not live among humans. The king put out a death warrant for all of his wise men that they be executed by being cut in pieces. Ooh, what a cruel king. Daniel and his three friends were under the same death warrant, but they didn't know about it. Daniel found out when he spoke with the commander of the king's guards. So Daniel, using the wisdom and tact given to him by God, spoke to the king, asking for time to look into the matter. Next, there was a dialogue between Daniel and his three friends. He urged them to plead to God for mercy. He wanted mercy so he and his three friends would not be executed. He wanted mercy for the other wise men and asked for clarity on the mystery of the king's dreams. So he had three major requests. We've learned over time that God is a prayer hearing and a prayer answering God. He's never too busy to hear our heart's cry for help. And Daniel was confident that God was there in Babylon with them, even though they were far from Jerusalem. That very night, God answered Daniel's request. The mystery was revealed to him through a vision. Daniel's story reminds us of another Bible story about a young man named Joseph in the book of Genesis. He too was a teenager living in exile in Egypt, and God gave him the gift of interpreting dreams and visions. He used his gift to interpret the dreams of the Pharaoh, saving the world from disaster. Once God revealed to Daniel the interpretation of the dream, Daniel's next act was to praise the God of heaven, giving thanks and realizing that God provides clarity. Only then was Daniel able to go back to the commander of the king's guards. So let's take a look at Daniel's prayer. Daniel begins by blessing the name of God forever and ever for wisdom and might that are his. The gods of Babylon are silent to the people, and as the wise men stated, they don't even live among humans. The active words about God are that he changes, he removes, and he knows. Daniel saw God was in command of everything and mightier than the king. God gives and God reveals. God has excellent communication skills and uses them to communicate with humanity. We don't need someone to be silent in challenging situations. It confuses us and can cause us to panic. Daniel was grateful that God did not stay silent, and he revealed to Daniel his excellent knowledge. Daniel thanked God for his wisdom and might, and he had the faith to believe that the answer he received from God was the right answer, and he was ready to share it with the king without fear of retribution. Daniel teaches us that when we begin by praising God, we will engage our faith into action. We will start to see how God reveals the answers to our prayers, leaving us without doubt or fear.